I appreciate you. Thank you. YouTube is that was it's been really cool. YouTube really changed my life. You know, y'all pulled me out of those few three main fat boy emo moments, as I call them, those big binges. And YouTube was a main thing that pulled me out of it. You know, I just seeing the comments. Eventually, you're like, "Where you at, bro? Where you at?" You know, and that it just snapped me out of it. And you know. So today's shoulders for me, my philosophy on working out very simple. Each day, core lift, I have a base lift, and then some auxiliary movements. Usually like some triceps on chest or hamstrings on legs, biceps, back, shoulders. So yeah. As far as I'm concerned, shoulder day, some kind of pressing overhead, and then lateral raises. Yeah, there's some other fancy shit you can do, but I think that's really all you need to blow your shoulders up. Well, I don't think I know, because my shoulders have grown a good amount, and they get pumped like shit. And you look online and they say that overhead pressing doesn't work your side delts, but I know it does, because I've done nothing but doing nothing but overhead press, so my delts, my sides get pumped, and then I just finish them off with side laterals. So that's what we're going to do today. And then we're going to go outside, and we're going to walk up this steep hill. We're going to do some what I call hill rucks, where we just walk up that hill. There's no predetermined amount. Just, we're going to push hard. And then, because this is the last meal before we do our 72-hour fast, we always like to make it a nice, good one. So we got 4.5 pounds of country ribs that have been cooking all night. Look absolutely delicious. So I'm just gonna pound, fuck those ribs up, and then that's right at 4,000 calories. And then we already had 3 scoops of whey, so that's gonna be about 4,500 calories, and then a little over 400 grams of protein, 450 grams of protein. And then the ribs, there's about 200 something grams of fat in those. Great OMAD. And then we will be fasting all the way until Sunday when we break our leg day. We break our fast with leg day. I don't understand why I'm having that static issue that just blows my mind and makes no sense. It works fine with you see the foot. Also, the audio is just janky on Twitch, because when I'm just recording a video, the actual camera phone mic is great. I've never even needed to use this. And then, but for some reason on the stream, it has like a static. It gets staticky. And I also need to figure out how to stream on 1080p, because I don't want to stream 720. I want to be streaming 1080, but I don't know where those settings are. That's what this weekend is. This is homework weekend. Gotta be some Reddit threads. If it's happening to me, it's happened to other people, so I'll figure it out. After all this, I may mess around on stake, or do some gambling, or look at some futures charts or something afterwards. But we're definitely doing overhead press, shoulders, hill rucks, and the 4.5 pounds of country ribs. I call it mukbang, but it's just gonna be me eating on the camera, chilling. I didn't really I didn't put anything on Instagram today. I guess I could. Let me do that real quick. What's up, IG bros? Just went live on Twitch doing a shoulder, overhead press, shoulder day. Then we're going to go do some hill rucks afterward for some good cardio. And then we're going to eat our last meal before our 3-day fast. 4.5 pounds of country ribs, Brody. And then we already had 3 scoops of whey, so that's going to be a perfect meal, and then we do our 3-day fast. So I'll see y'all here. Peace. Fuck it. Let's go. And now, most of the overwhelming time I do like today, I do overhead press every once in a while. And my second favorite would be Arnold presses, which is where you have dumbbells and you go like this. And that really works. Like, that's the whole rotation. That's a really good one. And then every once in a while I'll sit and I'll just crank out regular shoulder presses sitting. But I like the full body compound movement of the overhead press. All my main lifts are heavy compound movement, so overhead press, obviously bent over rows, you're working your old chain, your core, it really works your core. you know, and then obviously bench pressure, especially push-ups. Push-ups are extremely taxing, and especially when you're as big as I am, push-ups are some badass, some really intense core and full body, and then of course squats. Everyone knows about squats, but no, I don't think I'm going to actually target triceps. Sometimes I'll target triceps on, but my triceps are still sore from Monday, and then of course overhead press is a fairly narrow grip, so they get worked in that, so I'm not going to isolate triceps today. We'll start off with 120, and then we'll bump it up to 150. Or I may just crank out some higher rep 120s. We'll see how I feel. But usually 150, 160 is my working weight. But again, I took a couple weeks to completely deload everything. So I may just, shoulders are pretty persnickety. Well, I haven't had issues, and I want to keep it that way because I've been a little more cautious with them, and I warm them up, my rotators and everything, so I won't push it to 150 unless it feels good. And I usually don't mess with rear delts. If I think about it, I'll usually do some rear delts. I need to start doing some upright rows again on back day, because I mean, with all the rows I do, those really hit, like my whole upper back, my rear delts, my upper traps, all those are, I've built my rear delts with just the bent over rows, and they're amazing for that. So we're gonna warm up with the kettlebells, probably do some jumping jacks. That's our typical warm up, and then we'll warm up our rotator cuffs and all that good stuff before we start into our overhead pressing. There we go. Whew. Nice warm up. Whew. Circles. Which is great to warm up the shoulders. Oh yeah. Woo. Yeah, I was feeling good, but let's keep it at 120 for today. I like how that's feeling. A lot of times, I'll alternate. I'll do the first, I'll do a set of front, back alternating. Then I do a set of all front, then a set of all back behind the head, and then I repeat. Whew. Alright, behind the head, third set. Oh shit! Ooh. Oh fuck! Mind the neck targets more side and even some rear delts. So I like doing them both, and I have good range of motion. I want to keep it. So one of those things, use it or lose it. That's something I'll never try and go heavy though. Push press a couple. In the neck. Let's go, baby. Woo! Yeah, bro. I mean, I think it's good for shoulder health. I I've had great shoulders this whole time, and I overpress just about every week. My only thing is I would go light first time you're trying it, because that is a very disadvantaged position behind the neck, and I definitely wouldn't go heavy. So whatever your normal overhead press is, the first time you go behind the neck, do like 50% of that, and then just see how that feels, and then just make sure you warm everything up really good. But you'll see a lot of shit online about how it's horrible and horrible. I think a lot of that's for people that don't ever do it. Kind of like people that don't ever, they just do machine shit all the time, and then they go to actually do like a free weight lift, like a deadlifts or rows or free weight squats or something like that, and then they blow their shit out. You know, I think it's kind of like that. People just doing a strict machine press, and then all those stabilizers never get worked, then they try and go heavy overhead by the neck, and then they snap their shit off. I built all of this from scratch. I mean, you know, my first video, I'm fucking shoulder pressing 15-pound dumbbells. That's what I started with. So, yeah, that's how my philosophy's been. I start something where I can do about 6 reps, and then I crank them, and I do that until I can do that reliably, like 10 to 15 or 12 to 15 reps, and then I go with the new 6-rep weight, and that's how I've climbed from like 30-pound curls to now doing 120s. That's how I did rows, starting at like 100 pounds to where I'm now doing 200. That's just been my increment. Like for rows, I went from 100 to like 120 or 130 because I had different weights. So I went from 100 to 130, and then I went to 150, 160, and then I went to 180, and then now 200. And then here in another few weeks, we'll be probably cranking it to, I don't know, whatever the next increment is. Here we go. Oh, there we go. Woo! That's as close to failure as you get. Woo! And I'll do a short rest, and then we're gonna do a crunch set. For anyone watching doesn't know what that is, stay tuned. A couple more minutes and you'll see. It's pretty fun. Whew. It's gonna be really fun once this shit gets rolling. We get a good chat cranking. But I do those. I did what I called, I do 70% AMRAPs. So basically, after you've done it for a little bit, and you got the technique down, and you're not using your back, you're using more glutes. Like the main thing is, if you see, I don't really bend too much. I mean, if I could do more like a squat variation. But really, it's kind of like you're kind of doing like an RDL kind of hip hinge with a little knee bend, and then you're thrusting. So the easiest way to think about it is just fucking that dumbbell. Right? I know that's the easiest way to explain it. And then that's where you use your glute, because you don't want to pull it with your back. Yeah, especially when you're starting out. I do that because it's so light. But when I first started, I would feel it. But if you're doing them right, you'll feel it in your quads, your glutes. If you're feeling it in your back, you'll feel it in your back a little bit starting out, and that'll get better over time. But just remember, fuck the dumbbell, and or you can replace the dumbbell with whatever lets your mind go wild. But yeah, that's how it clicked in my brain. And anyways, I was getting what I was saying, and I did one of those every day. I called it 70% AMRAP, which was, for me, it was like, started around 45 reps, and then after a little over a month, 70% was about 80 reps. And then when I finally did a balls to the wall, when I, like, if you go watch my tribute video to my mom, right before that, I was like 190 something reps. And yeah, so that's my real PR. Whew. Of course, that was like 6 months ago. I wonder what it would be now. Here we go. The grunge step, baby. Woo! How many can we do? Woo! Let's love this shit. Come on. Ah! Let's get some emotes in the chat. Let's get this chat crank. You're about to see a perfect example of why my philosophy is the way it is about how I'm so big into doing compound lifts, especially as a beginner, building your whole foundation, all your stabilizers and everything. So what is about to happen doesn't rip your shit off the bone. Because I had almost oops, and if I had just been doing a bunch of machine presses, I probably would have ripped something. So pay attention, because this really exemplifies my philosophy, which you're about to see in this crunch set. Overhead pressing. And this is also more akin to like a real world scenario. If you're actually trying to lift heavy shit over your head, a lot of times you're not going to be all perfect and stable, and you're going to get jerked around. If you haven't built all those little stabilizers, it doesn't take much to rip one of them. So. Woo! Here we go. How many can we push? Let's push. We push it through that threshold. Visualize it. Someone's tapping me. Come on. You're gonna die or you're gonna push. You're gonna die or you're gonna push. You're gonna die or you're gonna push. How bad do you want it? How bad do you want it? Come on, let's get 20. Come on, let's get fucking 20 reps. That's exactly why. Shut up. That is exactly why. Perfect example of why I keep grunge sets. Absolutely nothing lower than 6 reps. If that was like 160, even, that wouldn't have been good when I stumbled. So, and again, that's why I built it up. For moments, that's perfect. You want to know my philosophy? Why I do what I do? Why I'm such a proponent of doing lists like this every week, every workout, a big core, build that. Someone that's done nothing but machines, I guarantee you they were doing that, and they stumbled, they're fucking something up. But all my stabilizers and connective tissues, I built them up over the last 10 months doing all these heavy compound movements, that shit can happen, and it doesn't fuck me up. Knock on wood. But we're also not going super heavy. Right, we were repping out, what was it, like 8 to 12 reps? And then we cranked out, I don't even know how many we did, but, you know, because again, you're pushing through that first governor, the self-limiting governor to keep you safe. Whew. So overhead press out of the way. That's 8 good solid sets. Now we're gonna do some laterals. Whew. Now we alternate. Sometimes we go heavy and then light. But today we're just gonna crank out just some good old 20-pound lateral raises. Which, when I started out, I could barely do 5 pounds because my arms are so fucking heavy. I mean, I can actually get a pump just lateral raising my arms. So I was actually really insecure about my lateral raises because I could only do 5 pounds for a while and it's pissing me off. Whew. Nothing fancy, but absolutely effective. Whew. 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 Of course, my side delts are always blown out already when I do them. Because despite what the internet says, proper overhead press fucks your side delts up. Especially behind the neck. The key to blowing your side delts up with overhead press is not doing like this. That's more of an incline. You go boom and you lock it out. It's that movement. Boom. Boom. So that's how you hit your side delts. Boom. Okay, hopefully I didn't move though. Woo! It's gonna be so nice once I have a reliable vehicle in and I can really take and show y'all places. Like I said, I want to go do some snowboarding. There's a place like an hour and a half, 2 hours from here. We'll go snowboarding. I think that'll be fun. That'll be a W stream. Of course, the lakes, I've been swimming, doing a bunch of swimming and fishing. I just don't trust my damn car outside of town. And then, but there's definitely a lot of ideas. We got Minnesota to our east, Montana to our west, South Dakota to our south. You got the Badlands, which I really want to show y'all the Badlands. We did 8 sets of overhead press. We just did 4 or 5 sets of lateral raises. And we're going to finish them off with this, which is where we just go till we can't go anymore. And we crank them. And then when we're fatigued, we wait like 3 seconds to 5 seconds. And then we crank them out. It's like just basically my version of a rest pause set. And these are 5 pounds. And since they're like a flat weight, it's more of like a, leverage. So it feels heavier than 5 pounds. Anyways, here we go. And I also keep constant tension, so I'm not doing like a full thingy. I just keep it where it's the most tense. And that's why I call them flutter raises. We're just flying like an eagle, baby. I'm usually up against a wall. Oh, they start to hurt. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Sorry if we can only do 1 rep at a time, we can only do 1 rep at a time. Just try to set it cold. Oh, shoulders are dying. Ooh. One more. Yeah. Let's go, bros. Woo. Holy shit. Woo. No dip, we're gonna go walk hills here in a couple minutes. Woo. Sit here. I don't make the same mistakes I did yesterday. I'll run out before I rehydrate. Look at all that sweat equity. Let's go. Woo. And that's another cool thing about the live stream. Is, you know, I know there's people early in the comments back in the day thinking that I was artificially making myself look sweaty. I think that conspiracy or that myth has been fucking rectified. There you go. CPP fucking knows. That's an OG right there, bro. Sweat is a currency, baby. And the more you sweat and the more you spend, the richer you get. As soon as I'm able to fucking make shirts, that'll be one of the first shirts I make, because I haven't seen that anywhere. I haven't even looked on the internet. That's my fucking term. Hell yeah. CPP Boss is that's an OG crush bro right there. Because I haven't even talked about that in months. That's a lot of times I just come up with something off the cuff and then I never really think to talk about it again. Whew. Yeah, Jeremy. I love it. I definitely recommend it. I mean, cool. But anyways, yeah, that's I look at everything from a lens of functionality, right? And just being able to lift heavy shit over your head. That's just such a functional movement. And then, you know, that's one of I think, honestly, overhead press, I think, builds the core more than any lift I do. I think that is the most core demanding lift, especially when you're heavy, to stabilize it. I mean, as you saw with the grunge set, you know, I stumbled back with fucking that 120 pounds over my head. But I was just fine because I built it from the ground up, which is why I do that. Again, I'm just sitting there doing machine press this whole time, and then I get in, you know, I'm going to do some overhead press in my 8 rep range, and then something happens, I stumble, and that's how you fucking rip a oblique or, you know, your fucking rotator cuff or whatever. But all those tendons and ligaments I've built up over the last 10 months for that exact reason. I go, if I got to pick up a 200-pound person, you know, and throw them or some shit, you know, you never know what'll happen in life. And that's just such a functional movement. Alright, check out these ribs, bro. They've been cooking on warm all night. Woo! Look at that. They're just cooking, just chilling on warm. Fork tender, watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Bam. Woo! So yeah, that's gonna be our meal. We just cooked them on low for a few hours and then turned it to warm and passed the fuck out. There we go. Yeah, it's cleared up now. All right, cool. Here we go. Oh. Whew. Yeah, actually, this is a lot bigger hill anyway, and it's smoother. There we go. Woo. There we go. Walking them hills. And of course, 470 pounds, we're basically rucking. I don't know how many we'll do. We've done a lot. We've worked out every day this week. Our central nervous system's a little skull fucked. 5 days straight. After a 2-week deload. And I don't know how to work out easy, so I'm gonna show you. There we go. That's the downhill. I was in Florida when I was 16, Port St. Lucie, Fort Pierce area. The buddy that I was staying with, he took me to Pepper Beach, motherfucker. And I was out swimming. So I'm Alaska, bro, you know, so I ain't never been anywhere like that. But anyways, I was out swimming and just having fun because, you know, I grew up in Alaska, you know, swimming in alcohol, clear lakes and rivers and shit. And anyways, so I was out swimming, having a blast, just chilling. Jason comes over to me and gives me his fucking snorkels. He's like, "Hey, bro, look under there. Check it out, it's cool." So I put the snorkel on, put my head on the water, and bro, I about drowned. I sucked in like a gallon of water. Oh, I freaked out. There was jellyfish fucking everywhere. They were I couldn't feel them. You know, they weren't stinging me. But bro, I'm scarred for life from ever since. I can't be in murky water. That fucked me up so bad. Just knowing that all those were there and I didn't know it. Bro, that literally scarred me for life. Yeah, it was bad. Holy shit. But yeah, that's my funny story about Florida. And I would love, like, eventually that's something I would love. I'd love to have some little property out on one of the Keys or somewhere around there, just to have something for, you know, that winter if I want to get away in the winter or whatever. Because I've always loved turquoise water. I just hadn't really been able to enjoy it because I've never been anywhere tropical. But I love snorkeling and swimming. But I'm also, I don't know how I would feel being out on the ocean. I've never been in deep water. I'm a real earth bro, right? Alaska, mountains, rivers. You know, I don't do well when I'm in water and I can't see the bottom. It trips me out. It just gives me an uneasy, very uneasy feeling. My best friend lives in Tennessee. In fact, that's probably a road trip, you know, eventually I'll take here from North Dakota to Tennessee. That's a cool road trip. And the next time I go see my sister, as soon as my car is taken care of and it's reliable again, I'm gonna drive. Because here to Colorado, that's a real gorgeous road trip. Even the more direct way, going through Wyoming or Deadwood, South Dakota. But yeah, then you go through Wyoming.
yeah, that's the direct way. And then you could go, like I said, over to the Badlands on the western side of North Dakota, and then you go down into Yellowstone and the Tetons. Or you go, then you keep going to Montana. You go through Billings, and then you go, or Bozeman, Billings or Bozeman, I don't remember which one. And then you go a little farther west into the Tetons, and then you go down and you go into Yellowstone, and then you go from Yellowstone into Idaho, or Idaho Falls and all that, and then you go into the Rockies and down into Colorado to Denver. You want to talk about a road trip? You want to talk about a camping road trip? That's it right there, bro. So, at some point, I'll be taking y'all on that. And by then, I should be able to afford like a streamer backpack or whatever the fuck that shit is, or maybe like a mobile SpaceX internet, whatever that's called. Can't think of it right now. Superlink or Hyperlink or Starlink, whatever the fuck it is. Yeah, again, thank y'all for being here. Appreciate you. Alright, my ankle is starting to flare up, so this will probably be the last one. Our legs and cardio and everything, we still got plenty in us. But I know I just started streaming, but if you didn't follow my YouTube, you know I fucked my ankle up when I went and visited my sister like a month and a half, 2 months ago, whenever it was. And it just started to heal. So I think like when we were flying, our right side, our whole right leg, I think circulation just got completely cut off. So for like 2 hours, there was no blood flow. It fucked our leg up. With the most of it being right in our ankle. Let's go grub down. Whew. What should we watch? Oh yeah. Oh. 0 sugar, by the way. I don't drink these all the time, but whew, they sure are a treat. And I don't drink these when I'm fasting. But all these are so good, especially like right now, thirsty after a hard workout. Alright. Let's see. Anyways, or maybe I shouldn't even watch something. I don't know. But here, let me try this real quick. See how tender this is? It's been cooking on warm for literally like 18 hours. And now there's a lot of meat. I might not be able to eat all this, but we're gonna give it a shot. Because again, this is the last meal we're gonna eat until Sunday after leg day. Holy fucking shit, that's so good. That's the way to cook them. That's so much less mess. You're messing with like aluminum foil or like a roaster pan. Crap, we cooked it so long, we cooked the bones till they're starting to break down. I've vlogged it all since day one. Whee! Alright. So, anyways, the way we eat, so we're eating all our calories in 4 days, and we're eating in a total 9,000 calorie plus, it's 9 to 12,000 calories a week deficit. But we're manipulating that, be it by eating all our calories in 4 days. So we're eating in a surplus 4 days, a slight surplus 4 days, and then we're just completely fasting for 3 days. And that's something that no one else has tried. I can't find anything on the internet where anyone's ever tried that. So this is a unique situation, and this is just an instinctual thing I came up with, and I'm going to give it a shot. I call it mad science. I'm my own Frankenstein. So I'm eating 4,000 to 5,000 calories 4 days a week, and then completely water fasting 3 days a week. So like this week, Monday I ate about 5,000 calories, and then Tuesday and yesterday I ate right around 2,500. Not even trying, it just kind of happened like that. And then today this is going to be 4,500. So this is right at 4,000 calories, and then we had 3 scoops of whey earlier. So you talk about this, and I've already dropped over 20 pounds just in the first week. Of course, a lot of that was water weight, because I was coming off a experimental mini bulk, as I called it. So we're at 488, now we're already under 470. And it's just from eating meat, no carbs. I drink about 2 gallons. You see that? It's right here is a water filter that holds 2 gallons, and I clear that, or I think it's 1.5 gallons. But anyways, well, actually this is easier to show you. 50-ounce mug, and I easily drink 5-6 of these a day. The first thing I do as soon as I wake up is I drink a full of these of ice water. But I also take electrolytes, because if I was just drinking all that water, you know, that wouldn't be good, especially in keto. Because then you know, yeah. So good, bro. And this is why I love keto board. See, the way I see it, you can give up carbs, you can give up fat. I've been doing it so long, and I go over that in my YouTube, my video where I my tribute to my mom. Which is, in fact, if you go to my YouTube profile, it's a welcome page, that first video you'll see, I think. I really go into it. But I've been doing fasting for a long time, so I flip into keto like that. I'm as fat adapted basically as you get. I'd be 70 hours fasted and I barely even pump out ketones, because I've been fasting for so long. And but it takes a long time to get like that. Like, so literally I'd be 70 hours fasted and only like 0.7 ketones. Whereas when I first started, but the thing is even though I was fasting, I was still sitting on my ass 23 hours a day and eating like 8,000 calories. So that's how I was over 500 pounds, even though I was only eating like once a day. No, actually it's the exact opposite. I love it. I just shit like a good once a day, sometimes twice. Now when you're first flipping into keto, you're gonna get well, I know for me it's a little rough the first few days, as far as like as soon as you eat. I think it's because of the fat, and this is sugar free, by the way, Sweet Baby Ray's. The microbiome's got to change. At least that's my theory of what's going on. So you get the runs as soon as you eat. Literally like 5 minutes later, you're going to the bathroom. I don't want to be graphic when I'm sitting here eating in a mukbang, but no, I have no issues with fiber. Even though I eat vegetables, you know, that's why it's ketovore. I'm not carnivore. I eat, so I have no problem eating vegetables. I'll eat a big bag of broccoli. Like right here, I think would be really good, be like on a bed of cauliflower. If I made this again, like rice cauliflower, like I'm going to be making curries, like Thai curry and stuff from scratch with rice cauliflower. That's going to be something I cook on here. And of course, like some mashed cauliflower. That's really, when you're deep in ketosis, that really legitimately tastes like mashed potatoes. And then with like chicken fried steak with like pork rinds and almond flour. And then you make mashed cauliflower and some gravy. Bro. Diet, that's why I love keto. It's alchemy. It's fucking diet food. Bacon, diet food. You know what I'm saying? That's literally diet food. But hey, to each your own. Some people like chicken and rice. Me, I don't like carbs without fat, so I just give up the carbs. And plus, carbs make me swell up. I feel 1,000 times better without carbs. my joints and everything. I don't have all that inflammation. Just goes to show, I lost 20 pounds in like 2 days. That was all inflammation. That's all fluid that was in my joints and my muscles, everything causing me pain. My back, my lower back, all that. That's just all that fluid just flushes out, and without the carbs. So, yeah. And then now we're having our nice post-workout, pre-fast meal. It's absolutely delicious. We'll be fasting for 3 days straight after this. Oh, I got you, Miguel. I've been vlogging this since day one on YouTube, so I'm kind of used to it. Although, to be fair, YouTube, like 99% of everything is very, very supported on YouTube. But I don't mind criticism, and then there's can even argue it warrants it. But you know, just senseless nonsense, childish, you know, fatty stuff. You know, that's just, come on, bro. If you're gonna troll, at least be creative with it. You know, use more than 2 brain cells if you're gonna troll. Hell yeah, bro. Well, that's why a lot of people don't do this shit live, because that happens. That's part of it. You know, you have those moments where it's not easy. It's not just a straight, you know, you have these little boop, 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 you know, these little, it's just, yeah. So, but it's been cool. I'm so happy that I vlogged this all from day one, so it's all on there. But I also have a lot of muscle, so 300 pounds for me is like a normal bro, like 200, 220. But I love fasting, and that's an interesting thing. I've hit all my PRs fasted. Or not, oh, excuse me. I've hit multiple PRs fasted. Specifically push-ups and bent over rows. So 25 push-ups fasted is my all-time PR. Unfortunately, that was off camera, but I did over 20 on camera. But bent over rows, I did, here was 27 or 37 reps with 160 pounds. And this was all 60 hours fasted. Which I found very interesting. That's my PR. Right now I'm cranking out about 17. Or at least on chest day, last time I did a set of push-ups, I did 17. But the way I lift weights, I burn a shitload of calories. Each set is like a sprint. The way I lift, my heart rate, because I've done a lot of sprints. It's on my YouTube, and I'll stream that too, eventually. But, so I know what my heart rate does when I'm sprinting. But yeah, each set of weights is like a sprint. Well, those 4 pounds of ribs went down smooth. Woo! Let's go. Delicious. And that's the last thing I'm going to eat until Sunday after leg day. We will be fasting, and that's basically how we do it every week.